Hello, is the cistern still open to visitors?
Absolutely. It will be closing in less than an hour. Some sections are under construction and can't be visited, so entrance is free.
Can we see the Gorgons?
Unfortunately, you can't. That's why you don't have to pay. You won't be able to see the famous peacock eye column up close either.
Oh, but since the place is empty, could you make an exception?
Sorry, miss. The same rules apply to everyone. Do enjoy your visit.
The peacock eye column should be just behind this gate. Oh, it's locked. I'm sure that the guard has a key, but he'll never let me in. I need to find a way to take him away from his desk. Zero 186-551-55. I could call the reception desk to make the guard leave his desk. The map shows only 2 Gorgon sculptures, but Radu's poem mentions 3 of them. The peacock eye column should be there. I need a coin.
Hello?
I'd like to talk to security, please. It's an emergency.
You've called the right number. This is security here. What happened? Who's speaking?
I work in front of the cistern and there's a fight right at the entrance.
Are you sure?
Definitely. Someone has to do something quickly before anyone dies.
I'll see to it. But usually the police should be notified in this kind of situation.
I hope he'll really come up to look. I could use that small boat to explore the cistern. I have to find a way to reach it. This rock looks a bit loose. This rock looks a bit loose. The boat is moored to the scaffolding. The shadow of the dragon's hiding place is somewhere in this cistern, but without any reference points to guide me, I'll never find it. Third Gorgon with the upside-down face, like in the poem. I need to take a closer look. A golden compass. One of the verses from Radu's poem says, "My child, follow the direction given to you fearlessly." This compass might be part of the key to the riddle. crossing took so much time. I must be near the shadow of the dragon's hiding place. My child, follow the direction given to you fearlessly to the wall where my hiding place will open in the shadow. To the wall where my hiding place will open in the shadow. Radu's poem is so accurate, it's scary. The poem does indeed lead to the shadow of the dragon's hiding place. Jerry was probably killed to keep this a secret. So what could be more valuable here than a man's life? This place sends shivers down my spine. I can't believe that an order that was supposedly founded by a brother who wanted to take revenge on his older brother could last for over 500 years. Killing a dragon. Golden dagger that Radu III, the Handsome, gave to the wife of his brother Vlad. It is believed that she took her life with this weapon. This is one of the few objects that some people believe has the power to hurt the dragon. The note doesn't explain why the young woman committed suicide. But even though history spared Radu, I think that Radu is even crueler than his brother. With the blood of Lilith, the first was created who will not be troubled by any of his children. That's interesting. These look like 17th or 18th century engravings. I'll have to take time to examine them. Someone took the dagger recently. There's less dust where the dagger was before. There's the portrait, and now the weapon. Someone is really determined to confront Dracula. Secret archives that detail a set of eugenics experiments on passing down vampirism conducted between 1918 and 1936. Father Arno Moriani's diary, 1920. A pentacle and the 4 elements. I get the feeling that the 4 elements are in the right place. I just need the 5th one, the spirit. I think I found it. The shadow symbol represents the spirit of the pentagram. Bas-relief family tree. Impressive. Radu's lineage. From father to son, Radu's descendants watched over this place and awaited Dracula's fall. I'd sure like to know who runs the shadow now. Adam! Adam's not just Bram Stoker's grandson. He's also Radu's descendant. A descendant of Vlad Tepes' brother. That just takes the cake. It all adds up now. His interest in the Vambery collection, the painting theft. He wants to get to Dracula through his portrait. I was just Adam's pawn.
You shouldn't have come all the way here.
No one gets away with breaking into the shadow section.
Two sewer workers saved my life. Or at least whatever's left of my life. They found me and took me to the hospital. When I woke up, I found a bouquet of flowers in my room. The note that came with it infuriated me.
Get well soon, sweetheart. Appearances can be deceiving. Love, Adam.
How could he have dared? After regaining some strength, I ended up at the hotel. Alone and without any lead whatsoever. I'm too weak to go back and confront the guard at the cistern. But I'm not letting Adam off the hook. I know only one person in Istanbul, the forger I visited a few days ago. The one who had the Dracula portrait that I found. I don't trust Yannick, but he's my last hope. The workshop looks empty, but the light's still on. Yannick can't be far. The feeling that it's slightly different. The trunk lie on the wall moved. Yannick really has a lot of things to hide. Maybe I can recover the missing paintings. There's something nasty about this place. Yannick?
This is the second time you have come to my place without asking. What are you looking for here? A painting? A cadaver? Or just death?
Death will come looking for me anyway. I don't need to tempt it.
That is what I have been told. But even the Grim Reaper needs a hand sometimes.
You're not going to have your way, Yannick. You're going...
If I wanted to kill you, I would have done it a long time ago. But he decided otherwise, and I submit to his will.
His will? You believe in God?
You are a funny one. I was talking about my master, Dracula.
So you're the one who painted his portrait?
Yes, a few centuries ago, I think I can say that it is my masterwork. Have you seen it?
I even restored it. Banbury covered it with tar. I think he was scared of it.
He is right. The one who has the mirror of the master lives on borrowed time.
The mirror?
I'm sure you know that we can't see our reflections in mirrors. This portrait shows the master just as he is.
I thought that it might be Dracula's weakness.
You have been reading too many Gothic novels. Dracula is not Dorian Gray. This portrait is not a reflection of Dracula's soul. It is his mirror, as well as the window through which he sees the world.
So why was the portrait stolen?
The thief must have been mistaken about the nature of the painting, or he is expecting something in exchange. Ellen, what do you think Stoker wants? I heard that you knew him well.
What do you know about the Shadow of the Dragon?
Exactly what you know, I think. It is a secret society that Dracula's brother founded to destroy him. And your friend is the heir, right?
Adam is not my friend.
You are right. I am afraid that he is much more than just a friend. What are you going to do with the child?
What?
You might not know it yet, but you are carrying Adam's child, Ellen. Vampires can feel these kinds of things.
You're pulling my leg.
You are bearing the future heir of a dark order that is doomed to failure.
Even if you're right, I won't live long enough to bring it into the world.
You are probably right. A pregnancy could actually make your condition degenerate more quickly. But human nature is such that people end up fighting for lost causes. So before going on your way, I wanted you to have all the cards in your hand.
How do I know if I can trust you?
You should actually be asking what I could gain from lying to you. If you have seen his portrait, he has seen you through the portrait. But I don't need to tell you that. You already knew that, right?
I can't believe it.
Excessive skepticism is a modern scourge that can be as dangerous as blind faith. Take it from someone who has a lot of experience.
Do these verses sound familiar? With the blood of Lilith, the first was created, who will not be troubled by any of his children.
With the blood of Lilith, another will come into being, who will reign over the world in turn. These verses epitomize our common condition. Dracula is our father. No vampire born of his blood can vanquish him.
What do you mean?
Only a vampire born of the blood of Lilith, of a new lineage, could rival him.
Was Lilith the first vampire?
Of course not. It is just a metaphor. The first woman of creation was not Dracula's mother. Dracula, grief-stricken, drank the blood of his wife. And that is actually how he was transformed. So the prophecy refers to the few drops of this blood that he still keeps around his neck. If anyone gets hold of it and drinks it, they will have the power to overcome Dracula and to enslave vampires and humans.
So that's what the Shadow of the Dragon is striving to do.
Exactly.
I must find Dracula.
I think he is waiting for you.
Where?
I do not have the faintest idea. I am just his portrait painter. and forger from time to time. I don't know where his hideout is.
Can the portrait tell us where he is?
No. The portrait shows the dragon in the form in which he wanted to portray himself. The portrait helps you to recognize him, but it does not show you where you can find him. But I may have another solution. According to an old Slavic tradition, you can track someone down by drawing a map with some of the person's blood. I might have a few drops of his blood left. I put some of his blood in the paint I used for his portrait.
But how do we mix it?
An old antique dealer sold me a copper cylinder that has the recipe. I must have put it in the alchemy section.
Where can I find the paint that has Dracula's blood?
I don't know. It has been such a long time. But I usually put the vials in chronological order.
So, you painted his portrait in the 16th century?
Yes, I must have used the same paint base that I prepared for Da Vinci. And I think that I used a bit in the deep red that I prepared for Bruegel, the one he used to paint hell.
Well, isn't that surprising?
I sense a hint of sarcasm in your comment.
I've come to the right place.
Sure. Enough said. I really need to feed. Even if your illness makes you less appetizing, we must not tempt the devil, dear.
I've never seen so many different paints and pigments.
I have to admit that I have had time to accumulate the rarest of essences. At one time, people came from afar to purchase my paint.
Did you work for all the masters whose names are on these vials?
You are jealous, aren't you? Do you really think that the almost magical aura of some works is the fruit of just one man's talent? Only the raw essence can give soul to inanimate objects.
I'm not sure I understood.
Of course you have. Each of these paints contains the blood of a man, a woman, or even a vampire. This is the price of what you call soul, my dear. You will understand this soon enough.
According to Yannick's explanation, Dracula's blood must be in a vial between Da Vinci and Bruegel. Da Vinci? Michelangelo? Raphael? All of these vials are labeled with the names of great painters. Yannick collects the paint vials that they used. Fascinating. Dracula's blood sample must be around here. To my favorite portrait painter, as henceforth our destinies are forever entwined. 1507 D. Dracula's blood. The ink goes in the last tube. Just need a sample of my own blood. I think I have everything I need. Chernobyl. Dracula obviously doesn't like to have people around.